Hi guys, my name is Val. Welcome to Hoarding Rocks. Are you ready for another rock cutting adventure? I have got some cool ones for you today. You ready to go check them out? And here is what I got for you today. We have some potential studs and we have two, most likely dots. But you know what? I am still waiting to see if we going to get any good surprise with those dots. And if not, I'm just gonna stop picking them up. Well, actually, this might be a little bit of dotty too, but there is a little hope in there. Okay, guys, I'm gonna jump them on a saw and we're going to check them out together. The cuts are finished. Some of them were really hard cuts, so that makes me very hopeful to see how they turned out. Let's check them out. Alright, our rocks are cut and we're going to start with the first one. And as you know, I do the two dots at the beginning to see maybe, I don't think it was connected this way. Let's see. Nope, not this way, not this way. Not this way. Well, maybe it was connected this way. So I just went where I felt like there was a little more chalcedony, and really it was hard to figure out where to cut this thing. I can see chalcedony here, and I see some quartz over here. So let's see how this dot turned out. Ta-da! Well, okay, I've seen that before. While it's kind of cool, I'm not sure what material it is. There is a little bit of a chalcedony over here on the bottom. As you can see, there is like a little moss. But this stuff seemed to be pretty soft and, didn't expect much, didn't get much. Let's check out the next one. Here he is. So, while the other one didn't really promise much, well, this dot might actually deliver something to us. You can see there is some quartz mixed with some chalcedony and more of that green stuff. Let's go ahead and see what's on the inside. Okay, well, we have a lot of that host rock, which actually did break off. And what else do we have in here? Well, we got a little bit of chalcedony, we have some quartz, and just that, a little green speckles and that ugly host rock. Okay. Well, it's good when you have low expectations, but it's one of those guys, where, yeah, it's not a polishing material, but doesn't this look really cool? Look at the colors on the inside, and while I don't really see any bands, there is a little chalcedony over here. It is a still pretty fun looking one. So for the dud, I would say it's a start of a dud. Alright, now let's move on to our actual studs. Here he is. We have this nodule, which has some potential if there is some fun stuff on the inside. Maybe I should have cut it a little closer to the middle, but I've seen a fracture somewhere, and yeah, I probably should have cut it just long ways, but I didn't. So let's go ahead and see what we see. Oh my gosh, it's so cool! Wow, guys, look at this. Look at this pretty moss. That is okay. I'm not regretting the cut the way I did cut, because I just felt like it was gonna fracture everywhere. But it didn't. And look how pretty it is. That is a nice moss agate. Look at the other side. Wow. You can see a little something on the inside. There is a lot of moss. You know what, guys? This one, I think it turned out all right. Let's go to the next one. For the next one, we have this big guy. On this side, it looked like quartz with some potential bands, maybe a little bit of milky chalcedony in there. There is a host rock around it, but look how pretty it looks on this side. Look at this, there is a little green in there. I actually have some high expectations for this guy. Are you ready to see if he's gonna deliver? Let's look. Okay, drum roll. Wow. Oh guys, I love it. I'm so happy. Look at this. Look at those milky bands over there. Almost looks like might be a little bit of saginite sprays. If it gets polished, I bet it's gonna get exposed. I don't see any fractures at all. And look at this over here. That is some really cool details. You see that moss over here? Wow. I actually really love this. While I don't see much bands, there's definitely chalcedony, there's definitely some moss. And guys, do you agree with me? It's definitely a stunner. I love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. And the other part of it, let's flip it like this. This is so amazing what Mother Nature can do. That actually looks like it's a healed fracture, but that's about it. Like those fractures, they seem healed. Look at this. Look at just this landscape. On inside of the rock, again, we have some moss. We get like this chalcedony over here. No bands. I mean, there are going to be some bands once I polish it. I almost feel like there is going to be some saginite sprays. And this looks like a fracture, but it's not. I don't think it is. It looks healed. But let's take a moment to enjoy this beauty. All right, next to the next one. And here he is. So you can see how I thought this guy might have some fun detail. The only problem, it's super fractured all over the place. It has a lot of quartz. So I felt like I couldn't cut it this way because it would just fall apart. So I decided to just take some bottom off, and you know what, if I missed on something, then maybe I'll slab it this ways. But I'm sure this part would be really fractured and I was trying to avoid it. Alright, let's see how it looks like. Oh yeah, so that is a moss with some quartz going through over here. That is actually pretty interesting looking one. And you can see a little formation in there. I think it was trying to make some bands. But I think this moss is interesting. There are like a little speckles in there that look like potential eyes. Let's check the other side up. Oh, the other side definitely did deliver a little more. Look at this beauty. You know, once again, you can see some quartz, and I can see some ghost bending in that white, and we got a lot of moss. You know, I actually am glad that I cut it this way. Maybe it would be interesting to see how it goes like this, but look how fractured it is. Remember my last video when I was just having a big fracture meltdown, I decided to make a point of trying to avoid those. And you know what? This is still really pretty. Those are Acton agates. All right, let's get to the next stud. So this guy right here looks pretty promising, okay? It's definitely chalcedony. It doesn't look like quartz. It's a nice dark color in there, and it's a nice husk. There are windows, but I don't see any bands. Is this just going to be a chalcedony chunk? Are there bands on the inside? Are you guys ready to see? Ta-da! Wow, okay, this is pretty, and there is no fractures. There is a little quartz packet on the inside. I feel like if I cut a little more, it would like really open it up. And do you guys see the bands? They're very ghostly, but it is such a pretty color, and I don't see any fractures on this, just the saw marks. It is not bad. This one definitely has a lot less. I'm probably just gonna toss this one in the tumbler, but there are some bands. You can see some bands with a little bitty tiny geode pocket. But look, that geode pocket looks like it's like one little crystal, almost like a one little zirconia, you know what I mean? All right, I'm happy with my stats today. You know, we yet to find like a super outstanding one, but that is getting there. We are gonna go to the next guy. This guy is somewhat of an agate. There is quartz bands, and I think that's a milk agate. Or is that like a white chalcedony? I feel like it's a mix of quartz and chalcedony. Maybe it's just quartz, but you can see the husk is just a host rock that kind of just fell off, and it has a little more on this side. Let's go ahead and see what we got inside. Ta-da! Oh, look, there is like a little heart over here. Isn't that cute? Okay, guys, we do have some good solid bending in here. That is a little bit of contrast, not a lot, but I am sure polished, this is going to look really pretty. It is a nice one. And the heart is definitely my favorite little thing over here. Do you see the heart? Oh, I love this one. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, these guys are pretty. There are some bending, and there are little speckles over here. I like it. I still consider that a stud, and it has no fractures. Yay! We are going to go to our next one. Here's our next one. So this one, I don't know. It actually kind of looks a little daddy. I don't know why I put it in the stud pile, but you know that exciting feeling when you rock hound. I'm expecting more of the same what we just saw over here, guys. I'm expecting some bands, and it might be very fractured, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, this is crazy looking one. Look at that. So it's like some moss. Is there some sargonites? There's definitely a crack over here, and that looks like hilt fracture with the stuff getting in there. That stuff is so brown and ugly, but it looks pretty cool on the contrast on that white. Let's look at this part. You see some little sticks in there. And you see how it was super fractured and it got filled in. It's just this didn't get filled in, and it's like just looks like a one big messy thing. It does have a lot of fun details, and even though it's a weird looking one, I find it very interesting. It's almost like a stick agate in there. Wishful thinking, but look at that. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Okay, I did not expect this at all, and I actually think it's a pretty cool one. Guys, are you ready for the grand finale? I have an egg. Agate egg? Let's check this out. And here's our last one. This is some guy that gives me lots of hope. I did not cut it, even as you can see. There's no windows or anything, but there was a fracture somewhere around here. So I wanted to give myself an opportunity to have maybe at least one part that's not fractured. Let's see how that played out. Wow. And aren't you beautiful? I know there is a lot of quartz in there, but look how perfect this quartz is. It's like a perfect ice. Wow. And look at those bands, you know, they're so translucent, they're so barely there, but they're there. And I really love that gray-blue contrast that makes this quartz. It almost looks like there is a little heart on the inside here too. Almost on time for the Valentine Day. Look at this beauty. Oh my gosh, I love this. It is such a perfection, and there is like no fractures. Well, this guy lived up to my expectations because there are fractures, and I'm glad I chose to cut the way I did. Yes, maybe there would be a little bending over there at the top, but yeah, this is what we've got, and this is the last one. I think it's a good one for the last one. What do you guys think? Thank you for stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Maybe we're gonna go rock hound next time. What do you think?